Alrighty. I'm super pumped tonight because we have a special guest on our Ruby and Above call. And Ryan is a sweet friend of mine. I can't even remember actually when we met, but she's been wonderful to chat with. I glean so much from her leadership and from her skill set. And she makes amazing events, which we have been privileged to be able to also share with our people. So she's so gracious in letting us borrow a lot of her content. So Ryan, thank you for being on with us. I know you are a Diamond Ambassador. You started, probably 9 months before I did. You were Jessica's first jewel, right? 2015 or 14? Okay.
I started 2014.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'll let you introduce yourself, but thank you for being on. We're super, super excited to glean all that you have to share with us.
Awesome. Okay, so yes, I am a Diamond Ambassador. I went Emerald in 12 months, exactly to the date. When Jessica met me, and well, not met me. Let's scratch that. We met way before Plexus. We went to college together, but when she asked me what my goals were, first of all, I was terrified about everything, but I told her I wanted to go silver in a year. Silver in a year. That was my 1 year plan, was I would be silver in 12 months. And Jessica was like, no, you are a diamond. You will not take a year to go silver. You will be silver this week. This week, you're going to be silver, Ryan. She was like, and in 1 year, you're going to be an emerald in the company. And I was like, and what that did for me was, for the first time since I've lived in my mama's house, I had someone speak life over me, speak belief over me. Somebody told me how awesome I was. Guys, we don't do that enough. Think about it. Think about how, like, if you were blessed with wonderful parents, they pour praise over you. They build belief in you. They tell you how awesome you are. But outside of that, we don't get a whole lot of that in today's world, right? That's what makes Plexus so amazing. And so one of the things that Megan asked me to speak about this was how to develop jewels. So I have 7 jewels on my team. And I've built my business a little bit differently than other people because I was hungry for the business. I was hungry. I lived to develop leaders, and I loved spending time with people who were hungry for the business. So recruiting is awesome, right? Recruiting is an essential part of what we do. I know this team can recruit like nobody's business because I see you on the leaders board. I know what master recruiters you are. I have some master recruiters on my team. But there's one tricky thing between having a master recruiter and having a recruiter that can develop leaders. Guys, people that recruit that don't develop leaders get tired. People are tired. You know why? Because you recruit. If you're not developing any leaders, you're still recruiting and you're not multiplying yourself. Isn't it neat? Do you ever think, man, I wish there were more than one of me to recruit? That's what duplication is, y'all. You make another one of you to recruit. So you can make multiple yous by adding value and teaching the things that you learn and developing leaders. So what I did was, when I first started, I only knew what I knew, right? I only knew that when you bring people onto the business, you say, you are a diamond. Why are you doing this? I found out what is your why. Every single person that joined my team in that first year, I knew their why. Most of the time, we get a lot of people and their why is weight loss, right? But I also knew that my job as a leader, like Jessica Heffley taught me, was that we ask curious questions, because there is so much more than I want to lose weight to the people that join our teams. And it's our job and our duty to dig deeper and ask questions and find out what else in life could they benefit from in Plexus. So first of all, I'm just going to give you a few little things that helped me connect with everybody, because when you go Emerald in a year, that's a lot of people to connect with, right? There's that neat little voice message tool, and part of the simple system on my team, and you can tweak this for how your team works, but part of the simple system on my team is every single person that joins my team, their sponsor adds them to a post and tags that person. That is how I connect with them. If their sponsor makes a choice to not add and tag them in that post, and I know that they've been added, I make sure that I ask the sponsor, hey, make sure you're setting your ambassador up for success. So be sure to add them and tag them in my welcome post, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to find them on Facebook, right? And I tap that person, I become Facebook friends with them, and I send them a voice message. It's just a really quick, hey, I know you don't have a clue who I am. I'm Ryan Evans, and you just joined my Plexus team. I want you to know I'm super pumped and excited for you. I'm here if you have any questions, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you more. Tell me a little bit about yourself and why you're doing this. Boom, it opens up the conversation. They can reply, they can let me know information. That's also a great thing to do in a 3-way chat with their sponsor. If their sponsor is on Facebook, then that 3-way chat, that open message that I open up, if their sponsor if they haven't already put me in that message thread, then I go ahead and set that up, because I need to teach their sponsor duplication, because that's what I want them doing. I want them adding people in a chat with me and connecting them so we can duplicate it down, right? Because that's what they're going to need. They're going to need that person to add their new people in a chat with them. And so then the verbiage that I use, that new person that's trying to go silver or even gold, they're learning verbiage from me. They're learning building belief. And I love setting up a Zoom. In person is best, but Zoom is even better, because then you can kind of get to know somebody. And I wanted to tell you a quick little story about somebody on my team. When I moved here to Oshkosh, Wisconsin, I didn't know a whole lot of people. Jessica Anderson is a level 1 of mine, and she is a master recruiter. She's also very intentionally personable, and she works the simple system like nobody's business. So everybody gets a welcome call. We find out why. And she added this random person she met. I don't even know how she met this lady, okay? It was this random lady who was very shy. She didn't talk a lot, but this lady was willing to get on a Zoom with us. And Jessica messaged me. She's like, I don't know how this is going to go. She barely talks, but she said she's willing to get on a Zoom. So I don't know how this is going to go. So we get on this Zoom with this lady, and come to find out that half of her face has been paralyzed. So she doesn't talk a whole lot, and she doesn't ever smile because she's embarrassed that she has that facial paralysis. She also has no belief or hope. I mean, it's just gone. Plexus was like this thing she's grasping at, okay? She's struggling with her weight. She's struggling with health issues. She's financially broke. And in that encounter, in that Zoom, I was welcoming. I treated her like everyone else. I told her that I believed in her. I found out her why. And I found out what could $500 do to change your life. I just asked that question. I was like, is there a dollar amount that would help you change your life? And she's like, $500 a month would change my life. I'm like, how would it change your life? And I found those things out. And I was like, girl, you can do this. We can totally change your life with this business. I was like, I know these products are going to work. Guys, that was probably a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. Almost all of her facial paralysis has been restored because of Nerve. She's lost almost, if not more than 100 pounds. And I know she's getting paychecks for more than $500 a month. Okay. That right there. And she's duplicating. If you met this lady on the street, you would probably think she's not going to be that successful. She has no influence. She doesn't know how to use social media. She doesn't ever talk. Guys, she's one of my top recruiters on my team. It's all, do not put anybody in a box. And that includes what level they are. Okay. I work very closely right now with a level 6 of mine named Jennifer Folks. Her husband, Casey Folks, was on stage at convention because he was one of the top weight loss, like the, why am I forgetting the name of that challenge? You know, there's that weight loss challenge. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all are leaders. You know what I'm talking about. So I work closely with her. She's one of the top recruiters on my team. Is she a level 6? Yes. She's also underneath several of my jewels. By helping her and showing my jewels how I build belief and invest in her, I teach them to do the same. Okay. And it helps keep my leadership cap growing because I have a bigger pool of people who are hungry and who are wanting it. So never, ever, ever put anybody in a box, and be open to all levels. Every single person that joins your team should know that you care about their health. And when people know that you care about their health, and then you're like, but you know what? This financial opportunity could change your life. Let's get your accountability partners and let's get you rolling with a little bit of money in your pocket, because that's important to me. And then you slowly build the connection, and that's how you develop people. My very first year that I was in Hawaii, I remember sitting at the table, and I was sitting next to different jewels. And they were like, I wonder who will be here next year. Like, do you have anybody on your team? And if you don't, this will tell you a lot about my personality. I'm a little over the top. I was like, I'm going to have 25 people here with me next year. And I remember the girl sitting next to me, she was like, that is ridiculous. Like, girl, you're not going to have 25 people here. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get 25 emeralds on my team. Now, just FYI, clearly I don't have 25 emeralds on my team, but I don't know if y'all know anything about the 10X rule. What if I had set that at like 2? Yeah, I'm going to have 2. Would I even have had any there? No, I said, I'm going to have 25. And the next year I had 4 with me, and the next year 7. So it's really all about how you have to set the bar really high. It is your job and responsibility to build belief in people. People need to hear you say, you are a diamond. You are totally capable of doing this. I believe in you. Okay, I'm going to read my notes to make sure I've gone over everything. Developing leaders creates a ripple effect plus income, which equals impact. If you have a goal, I have a sign over here on my dream board, and it has the number 100 million. And my goal is to impact 100 million lives before I leave this earth. And the only way I'm going to do that is by developing leaders. Recruiting is important. Developing leaders is going to create a ripple effect that will impact the world. And you can do that. Like, if you are on this call, you are a diamond and you are capable of developing leaders. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say you are called. You have been called to develop leaders. You need to take it on as a responsibility. Yes, still recruit, but take it on as your responsibility. The Lord is calling you to develop leaders. Build belief in everyone. Keep your eyes open for people that are hungry. Seriously, keep your eyes open for people that are hungry. And you know what? Not everybody, like the lady I'm talking about that I was on the call with, her name is Melissa. Like Melissa, she didn't appear to be hungry. She appeared to be shy and not wanting to talk. Her first Zoom was from her trailer, in her trailer park. That was where her first Zoom was from. Trying to get her old, free government assigned phone to work. Okay. Her life is totally different now. She didn't appear hungry, but I could tell that if she had the belief and the vision, she would be hungry. And that's what you have to discover. People need you to be their cheerleader all the time, not sometimes, all the time. They need to hear the words, "You are a diamond, let's get you there." Not, "You can do it, let's do it." They're not going diamond on their own. You're going to help them. Okay, I talked about the quick welcome message. Introduce yourself, add value, belief, excitement, and ask them a question. Never put people in a box. Oh, here are some. I talked about the Zoom meeting. Belief and excitement is contagious. You know what else is contagious? Burnout, negativity, all those things. Burnout and negativity, those are contagious. Not only can your prospects feel that, but so can your team. Even if you're acting like this, but you're burned out and you're negative, they still feel that. There's that whole weird frequency energy thing. Whether you believe in it or not, it's there. So you really have to make sure, that you're taking care of this so it transfers out to your team and your prospects. And that has to go with belief too. Don't tell somebody you can be a diamond if you don't truly believe it. You're going to have to reprogram your head into knowing that every person you encounter on your team can be a diamond. If you don't believe they can be a diamond, they're going to feel that even if you say it. You have to believe it for them. They need that from you. And that can be life-changing to them. Even if they don't become a diamond on your team, Melissa might never be a diamond on my team, but her whole life has changed because she had somebody believe in her. Okay, here's some good questions for you to write down to ask yourself. And these are questions that I ask myself every single day. Why am I so good at recruiting business builders? If you will ask yourself every single day, why am I so good at recruiting business builders? Your mind is going to be programmed to be looking for opportunities to recruit business builders. That's just the way the brain works. So you say it like starting out, man, why am I so good at recruiting business builders? Why am I so good at that? And your brain is going to start discovering reasons why you are in fact good at doing that. Okay. And here's another good question to ask yourself. Why am I so good at developing leaders? And I can answer a little bit of that for you, but it's always going to lead back to adding value. Adding value equals teaching what you learn to other people. That's not the only thing, but when it comes to developing leaders, that plays a really big role. I mean, you can add value by posting a funny cat video and making somebody laugh. But when it comes to developing leaders, teaching what you learn and what you know adds value. Okay. those are all the notes that I made, and I wanted to make sure I left plenty of time for questions. What questions do y'all have for me? What can I answer? Do you disagree with me about anything? People like to disagree with me, and I'm okay with it. I'm an Enneagram 8, so I can handle disagreement.
That's awesome. Well, I know when you were talking about like in your first year, how you like drilled into your team and you taprooted like crazy. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, I've never done that. I have like barely done three-way chats, which is probably, I mean, it makes sense that it would really, really influence retention in a
big time
way.
Those people that I brought on my first year are still with me. I can't obviously say 100% of them are still with me, but I'm telling you, the first year when I dove in and of course I've gotten away from that a little bit because my team's grown so big, and I have to really be careful and pay attention to who my 4%ers are. In fact, I was having a conversation about that with some diamonds just yesterday, because I had been kind of maybe miscategorizing my 4%ers. But it's so important to make sure that people are paying attention to every single person that joins their team, and digging in. And you have the ability to do that up until Emerald level. And then, you might have to scale back a little bit and reevaluate where you invest your time, because you can only do so much. But if you're really developing leaders, they kind of duplicate that down for you. So.
Yeah, girls, what questions do you have?
Ryan, thanks for being on. Aside, after the initial welcome, I'm Ryan, you don't know who I am, what is your why, that conversation, do you have certain criteria that people have to meet to continue to deserve time with you? Or do you handhold everybody? And if you do, is there kind of a rank that jumps out to you where you stop handholding and dragging them along and they seem to get it, and then you have a finite amount of time, you've got to divide that up between everybody that you're adding? What does that look like?
I don't handhold anybody, but I do give massive amounts of attention to level 1s and 2s like that. So I am for sure level 1s and level 2s, the messaging, and maybe you could call it hand holding, but the really walking through steps and all of that, level 1s and 2s for sure. Here's what gets tricky. As you grow and you stop recruiting as many, I'm not a huge heavy recruiter. People need to know that. That's one reason why I dug in deep, and the people that were recruiting, I invested time and attention in, because I personally didn't recruit. I don't have 300 level 1s. I don't have a massive amount of level 1s. So I kind of had to really work with who wanted it. But the people whose points grow the most are the people who get the most of my time. I mean, that is how I develop Jules, because when my level 5, hit senior gold, Ruby, it's like, oh, this is going to be a diamond on my team. I need to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to equip them, because I've walked that road. I've made all the mistakes. I've gone through all of the roller coasters that the business can bring. So they get a lot of my time and attention. And I need to make sure, my level 5, I'm thinking of my level 5 right now, Brandy Kukubra. Her and I have become like best friends, but I invested a lot of time in working with her, because all the way down to level 5, I need to make sure that the simple system I have set up has been duplicated, and she's duplicating that. And I learn a lot from her too. And so I'm not really sure, I can tell you this. There are some people that are crap magnets. You know what I'm talking about? They're crap magnets. That's anybody, like negativity, complainers. If they're a crap magnet, then those people get a great deal less of my time. If they're a level 1 or a level 2 and they're a crap magnet, I tell them, girl, we have got to totally, I think I said this the other day. I said, girl, we have got to totally erase your mindset and start over. I was like, because I know that you're a diamond, but you are never, ever going to get there if you keep saying negative stuff. And there's even this book I've been reading, and this is what I tell them to do. I'm like, every time a negative thought comes to your head, do like this. Have you been doing that, Megan? Megan and I are reading a book. Have you gotten to that part in the book? Every single time something negative comes up or it's not beneficial, slit your neck. I even probably have a red mark because I do it so much. Even in the store, I hear somebody negative and I'm like, cutting that negativity out of my life. I don't know if that really answered your question, but I don't ever cut anybody off. If people want my time and attention and they're asking for it and they're bringing a lot of fruit and I can see that they're personally developing, I give them as much time and attention as I can. I do have boundaries, but that's how I got to where I am, is because I'm pretty available.
Do they seek you out or do you initiate?
Both.
Okay.
Both, for sure. The people, like, and that's one thing that I'm really just learning. Like, I ran some reports on my levels 1 through 3. And I wanted to see in the last 3 months, who are my top 1 through 3 recruiters? And I was astonished that I had not been connecting and pouring into those top recruiters like I should have been, because I was busy helping Jewel level 5. And I was like, this is why Megan Goff is on the leaderboard and Ryan Evans is not, because I have a massive team with great resources, but I'm tapping into a lot of the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And so I'm really having to change my mindset and be like, no, Rebecca Richardson is getting all my time this week because she is recruiting like a boss on my level 1 through 3 and people don't even know who she is. She's a genius. And so I'm kind of having, and that's something I've just learned. Somebody read that to me because I'm on my phone. I saw a question pop up and then it disappeared.
Do you have level 1s who don't make it easy on you to connect with their recruits? What do you do with that?
Yeah. Here's the thing about the business. If somebody makes a choice to not make it easy, and I do have people that make a choice to do that, their teams die. Their teams die and they don't hold rank. But, and I used to, especially as an Enneagram 8, I always keep it real. I'm really honest. But the Lord put them on my team. And if I'm going to let a level 1 hold me back from helping change someone's life because they didn't connect me, I'm making a massive mistake. So I skip. And that's what's happened and y'all, that is why I have 7 jewels. I skipped people. I'm like, if you're not going to help this chick, I'm going to help her because she's a diamond. And I get it rolling. So you can't let other people, that's a real scarcity mindset. You can't let some person in the middle be the defining factor on how much you pour into the person. And if that person has a problem, which I think I have encountered that, some be like, listen, this is my moral obligation. I've said that. I'm obligated. I bring in such a large paycheck. Like I have to do my moral obligation and reach out and connect. Be like, goodness, I so want you to be a part of it, but I totally understand if you don't want to be. But no one can stop you from reaching out to your team.
Can you share? You shared with me once back to Brene Brown, clear as kind, and how you approach the sponsor that's basically the connector, because you're investing time basically into a person that's going to potentially massively benefit that connector person. Do you remember what you mentioned?
Well, I basically talk to people and I do let them know. So, and of course there's we can call them connectors or we can call them check collectors We can call them a lot of things. And I do think that there's a big difference between connectors and check collectors. But this is kind of my approach with people. And this is because I did have quite a few check collectors on my team. I mean, I had some people that were making a good $2,000 to $3,000 that were MIA. But I let them know this. If they want to make a choice to be a check collector, then that is fine. But they need to have a very clear understanding that I consider it, one, morally wrong, and two, that they're stealing money from me. Because they're, and I was very clear to remind them that, just a little message, hey, I just wanted to keep you updated on your team. I led a Zoom for so-and-so tonight. It went really well, and we connected with X, Y, and Z. I do also want to remind you that tonight I missed getting to kiss my kids and put them in bed because you're making a choice to not be a leader, and you're continuing to steal my money. So I'm very clear cut about that because that is my reality. My reality is I missed a lot of nights kissing my kids and putting them to bed and investing time and attention in them because I was helping somebody else's team and somebody was making thousands of dollars off of it. And it's morally wrong. So if they want to do the wrong thing, there's nothing I can do to stop them, but I always make sure that I remind them. And that's
wow. Okay. See, this is why I love you, because I need you in my life to, just tell it like it is. Wow.
Well, and here's the thing. It does seem kind of gutsy, but you know what? After a while, it kind of wore on them. And that every 15th, when they would get the message from me, I hope you're enjoying your check. Just a reminder that you're stealing money from me. That wears on them, and they've turned off. And I don't have a check collector there anymore. And you know what? The second they turned off, you know what happened? I went diamond. I went diamond. It was the difference. It was them earning $2,000 to $3,000 off of my hard work. And it was the difference in $4,000 to $6,000 for me and my family. And when they made a choice to finally turn off, I was able to do a lot of good. And I did send them a thank you note, and I let them know all the amazing things that I could accomplish with the money because they made the right choice. And I was very grateful and very kind. And they're even starting to help do things for the team now. They've just re-signed up as just a level 1 without a team under them.
Wow.
Yeah. Clear as kind.
All right. Who else has a question or a comment or something they'd like to share real quick? Then we got to pop off.
Quick question. When going back to where you said you were going to look for your top recruiters and connect with and pour into them, what are you specifically picturing as what you're going to do with them or talk to them about? What does that look like?
So connect with my top recruiters. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is, first of all, for sure have a Zoom. And I utilize Marco Polo a lot. A lot of people, Zoom is like hard. That's like a hard set schedule. But like I'm thinking of my Rebecca Richardson. Zoom is going to be really hard on her. Our time zones are different. She's a mom. I'm a mom. It's just, but Marco Polo. And so I just do a lot of asking questions. How are all your newbies going, and who do you have actively getting their accountability partners, and what can I do to help you? It's just a really super, hey, what do you have going on? Because a lot of those people like that Rebecca Richardson, I have not been connected with her. I mean, I am connected with her, but we're not close because the people in between me and her they're busy doing their own thing. So I haven't gotten super close with her. So Marco Poloing and just building a connection and letting her know like building belief and letting her know, yes, you are a diamond. And then kind of saying, hey, have you set up Zooms? Because I don't know, that level 1 and level 2 in between me and her, I don't know what they've done. I haven't had any communication about that with them. They haven't come to me and said anything. And so I need to know, have all your new people had a welcome Zoom? If not, do we need to set one up? Another thing is, I know she hasn't introduced them on my team page because I didn't know until I got my reports from corporate. So I'll be like, girl, you got to get them introduced on the team page, because I like to send, and I just like to send a postcard, like, yay, welcome to the team. You know, I like to send them a voice message. I don't want them to miss out on connecting with me. Just kind of little things like that back and forth. But I for sure always ask these 2 questions. What is the dollar amount that you need every month? And what is your holy moly number? Because a lot of times, y'all want to know what people tell me their holy moly number is? $1,000 a month. Y'all, they are not thinking big enough. And that goes right back to Jessica Heffley's, I'm going to be silver in a year. And she's like, no, you're going to be silver in a week. You're going to be emerald in a year. Like, you have to just set it up for people. And so, I mean, that is when I connected with Rebecca Richardson. That was her, like, $1,000 a month. Holy moly. No, girlfriend. You should see. If y'all went to this girl's Facebook page, you would be like, oh, yeah, this girl is totally a diamond. Okay? Just by looking at her pictures and influence, she's a diamond. And it's like, no. $1,000, we're going to get you in 3 months. Like, I rewrite the script from, no. 3 months, we're going to get you $1,000. This is what you have to do to get there. And people need, break down the numbers for them. Okay, so those people that you brought on, we need to make sure that they all have 3 accountability partners. Have they done that? What can I do to help you? Does that make sense? So that's kind of the stuff that we'll talk about. And what are you avoiding or resisting? Is anything making you nervous? Is there anything that you're not wanting to do that you feel like you should be doing? Or, whatever it is. And I think another good thing to do, especially like now that I know, I'm like, you totally need to go live on my team page. Tell people how you're recruiting. Or, hey, have you made a training video yet? Because my team totally needs to hear from you. It's that first initial, what? I'm a top recruiter? I mean, and now she's putting me in a leadership position. It immediately assumes she really thinks I'm gonna be a diamond. The first week after I went silver, Jessica Heffley had me make a training video. And I was like, man, I must really be good because she's asking me to make a training video for her team. Yeah. And so just little things like that are the expectation of rank up and the expectation of leadership, and lots of belief building. And for somebody like that, who's my level 3 that's added people, I probably wouldn't do individual Zooms, but I would offer her team and everybody that she's added in the last 3 months, I would offer them one whole Zoom to do together, kind of like this as a community. And I would just kind of ask a few questions, but I would definitely do all those same things. Hey guys, what's the amount of money that y'all need a month and what's a holy moly number? Y'all should know that too. Y'all have holy moly numbers? Does Megan Goff make y'all give those?
Holy moly numbers. There we go.
Gotta have it. My first holy moly number was $15,000 a year or a month. That was holy moly to me. I wanted $15,000 a year extra. Seemed crazy to me. $15,000 a month was like, holy moly. And what's fun in the business is then you get to change it. Once you get to that, you're like, ooh, I got a new holy moly number.
Exactly. All right. Anyone else have something real quick that you want to ask?
I'll ask something. I'm stuck. It's kind of along the lines of what you're talking about. I'm kidding. You don't scare me, Ryan, if you read the comments.
I can't see comments.
Okay. I was like,
But
I
I am
it
scared.
scares me. So have you ever gone through seasons with this where like you feel like all of your leaders are like they're just all taking a hiatus at once? So you're like chugging by yourself?
Okay.
And if that's the case, how do you like create that, cast that vision again for them, and that hope and that belief for them again?
Yes. Okay. So, Amy, this is how it works. Whenever I have many seasons where I'm like, Jessica, everybody has checked out. And I'm like, and first of all, I would probably be reminded that I'm being a crap magnet. And second of all, she would say, what are you projecting to your team? It always comes back to me. Are you burned out right now? Like, is there something you're stressed out about? Is there something you're resisting or avoiding? Because here's the thing. The second that you go get a new team, because people are on a hiatus, they come back real quick. Like, oh, hold up, you're leaving me in the dust. So my suggestion is no, you can't just not communicate or talk to people. But my suggestion is you get you right here. You figure out what you're resisting and avoiding, and you figure out, where you're burned out. Like if you get you right here and you start recruiting, those people come right back. As much as that stinks, because let me tell you, I've wanted to punch Boss Hef in the face a couple of times when she's like, I'm like, nobody's personally recruiting. She's like, really? How many of you were personally recruited this month? It's like, okay. So it really 100% just comes back to us. And there are people that check out and quit doing stuff. And you know what? But if you got it right here, then you're pulling in and you're developing people in other places. That's probably not the answer you wanted, but
No, that's good. I think I'm a strong 3, but I've got a really heavy 2 wing. And so I tend to probably I am more like I'm thinking this month, my leaders, like they just have life stuff, and it's not even bad stuff. Someone's moved, someone's mother died, it's just life, you know what I mean? And so for me, I'm like, I could compartmentalize that and still like do my IPA. So maybe I need to do a little more tough love. I'm more like, she's having a hard month with her family, so I'm going to love her and not push her to, do you know what I mean? So I think sometimes that's my weakness too, is like, oof, she's moving this month. So clearly she's not, she's telling me she needs to take a break for a month, so I'm just going to let her. But maybe I need to balance that with a little bit of like, if this is your business, you still got to work.
So that's where when you're really intentional and you know someone's why, if you know their why and like you can back that up with the feelings, like I can use one of my emeralds, for example. Whenever I really started putting this into practice, this is before she went emerald, and because of her personality type, it was always like, I'm a little overwhelmed, I need a break. And it was like, girl, I just know that you are sick of dropping your kids off at daycare. Like, girl, you can do this. I know people don't know my whole story, and I'm not going to give it to you tonight, but if you knew what I went through 13 days after I signed up, there is no excuse. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what is going on in your life. That should be the reason that you keep going forward. I mean, there are a lot of things and there are a lot of excuses. Excuses equals fear. So if somebody's saying, I can't work my business right now because I'm moving, they're scared of something. And what that sounds like to me is my time will be wasted because my time is more important spent doing X, Y, or Z. So there's a belief factor missing. Because if people are going to pick something over working plexus, they do not have the belief they need to do it. So if you can establish and just in your mind as a leader say, this person needs to get hit hard with belief. And it's just like, girl, I know you're moving. I know you're going through a lot right now, but I know you're a diamond. And I am so dedicated and here to help you. So when you are ready to get back at it, or if you have 5 minutes in the day to squeeze in your IPAs, I really want to encourage you to do it because you are a diamond. And I know you can do this. And I so want this for you. And it might feel uncomfortable, but silence and backing away says, yeah, you're probably right. You moving is probably better than your time in plexus. So then you have to be like, okay, I need to have more belief to push. I don't know.
That's really foreign to me also. I tend to back off. Even when I was first starting to sponsor people, if someone would be like, hey, I can't for XYZ reasons, I'd be like, okay, no worries. I'm here when you need me or whatever. But I learned to press the envelope a little bit, acknowledge, hey, no, I totally get that. That's totally fine. But hey, here's a thought. And then I would share, or, maybe they don't want to sell or whatever. And I would say, oh, hey, I felt the same way. I used to feel felt found, right? And then, and then I would say, you might be surprised at the people that you think of that could benefit from this, or you may have God bring people across your path, across your mind, whatever. And it's you can't help but share. So just be ready for those moments because they'll probably come. So I feel though with my team, I'm like, you don't want to work? Okay. Volunteer army, then go do your thing. It's my lack of being a leader, honestly. So Ryan, thank you for sharing how you're super kind and super clear and just encourage people to stay the course, in different seasons. Well, and I know for me, I went all the way to Emerald and then Diamond with the last 2 babies and pregnancies. And there's so many people who are like, oh, I'm pregnant, can't work, can't do plexus anymore. And I'm like, what's going on? So I definitely think it relates back to people's why and so many things. And everyone that's on this Zoom, I just see you are not excuse makers. I've just seen you guys gracefully walk through hard things, through family stuff, so health stuff, so many things. And so I think I'm so proud of all of you guys for not being excuse makers or quitters and continuing to persevere in the midst of those seasons. Okay.
Yeah, your team is people are watching y'all because y'all are so good at what you do. So keep doing your thing because you'll have a lot of admirers.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. This was so good. I'm going to get uploaded to YouTube. We really value and appreciate your time and sharing all the things with us. So thank you. I'm going to go be with my guests now.
All right. Bye, guys.
Well, thanks, Ryan. Thanks, everyone, for popping on.